Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News, some latest events in the province, and now come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, after the question and answer session in the morning of July 20, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Tâm, Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Chairman of the TayNinhTV Provincial People Council, Chairman of the working session suggested that the department branches and leaders of the Provincial People Committee being questioned should make specific and practical solutions to the issues that have been concerns by voters and delegates.
He suggested that delegates of the People's Council Standing Committee, committees, deputies, groups of People's Council, and especially the voters of the province together participate in monitoring the organization and implementation of functional branches so that the opinions of the delegates, thoughts, aspirations of voters in the province will soon come true. He also suggested that the People's Council assign the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council to continue to urge, direct, and coordinate this activity, especially in close coordination with the Provincial People's Committee to organize the good implementation of the conclusion of question session at this meeting. Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Chairman of the Provincial People's Committee, said the Provincial People's Committee will focus on directing and operating, effectively implementing a number of key tasks, directing to remove difficulties, especially overcoming and clearing basically the inadequacies and bottlenecks related to the areas of planning, investment, land, construction, creating conditions for all economic sectors, businesses, cooperative economy to restore and develop production business, along with strengthening inspection, control, curbing inflation, stabilizing the market, strengthening prevention, control, and strictly handling acts of commercial fraud and smuggling, timely implementing the supportive policies for economic recovery. In addition, he also mentioned 6 other groups of solutions to mobilize resources for investment and development, creating a new driving force for the development of the locality in the coming time. Then the delegates of the Provincial People's Council attending the session voted to pass 10 resolutions. Speaking at the closing of the meeting, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Tâm called on voters and people in the province to join hands and unite with the party committee and government to overcome difficulties, continue to effectively implement measures to control the epidemic, protect the health and life of the people. At the same time, accelerate the restoration of production and business, take full advantage of new opportunities, determined to successfully implement socio-economic goals and tasks in 2022, strive to successfully implement the resolution of the Provincial Party Congress for the 2020-2025 term. In the past 6 months, the Provincial People's Committees and localities have continued to maintain the good implementation of epidemic prevention control measures to restore and develop the economy and improve people's life. Basically, the socio-economic situation of the province has achieved quite comprehensive results in all fields. There are many solutions to control inflation well. The economy continued to recover and grew quite well, reaching 5.2%. The production value of the main economic sectors increased compared with the same period. The tourism industry in the first 6 months of the year had impressive growth with a total revenue of 880 billion Vietnam dong, with more than 3.3 million visitors. The Provincial People's Committee has issued the implementation plan of the General Planning Project to build Baden Mountain National Tourist Area to 2035, the Tourism Development Plan of the province to 2035. Over the same period, export turnover increased by 17.7%, domestic investment attraction increased by 15.7%, total mobilized capital of credit institutions increased by 19.4%. There are many localities with budget revenue reaching over 80%. The Provincial People's Committee has deployed 100% of capital construction investment capital from the local capital and from the central support. Public administration reform continued to be of interest. The key task in the last 6 months, the Provincial People's Committee continues to direct the implementation of epidemic prevention and control, directing to inject booster doses for high-risk subjects, At the same time, promote administrative reform, improve business investment environment, create favorable conditions for businesses and people.
In order to preserve and develop traditional occupation in 2022, the Ninh province will focus on implementing 11 projects to support the development of the rural industry with a total support budget of over 24 billion Vietnam dong,
in which the province will reorganize production activities in rural industries, traditional craft villages, and traditional craft villages in the direction of forming linkages from production to product consumption through various forms of affiliate contract. Develop raw materials areas for production activities with preliminary processing, reservation, and consumption of rural industry products along the value chain. Develop tourism in association with agriculture and rural areas to gradually form high-tech agricultural zones, areas for specialized cultivation of crops and fruit trees, etc., to introduce and promote specialty products in different tourist locations and routes. Besides, the province also mobilizes resources to support the development of rural industries. Questioning the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, the delegates suggested the functional sector must have solutions to the problem of trading in fake fertilizers, poor quality fertilizers, as well as other agricultural materials. Delegates expressed their opinion that the sanctions against agents trading fake fertilizers and poor quality fertilizer that cause damage to people are still too late, mainly administrative fines. Mr. Nguyễn Đình Xuân, Director of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, explains that because the provisions of the law aren't strict enough for trading in poor quality goods, however, the department has used up all legal tools to handle. The department has also published information about agents selling fake fertilizers to farmers. Business units have responded. Disclosing information in the media is a very strong measure compared to sanctions. Many units face difficulties and even stop doing business after being announced by the relevant authorities. At the same time, the department's inspectors have also transferred a number of cases with signs of criminal violations to the procedural agencies for investigation.
A hot issue that voters have petitioned a lot about in the past 6 months is the congestion in the settlement of landfill record. Every district in the province is facing this situation. In the discussion session of the Ronso People Council delegates and in the questioning session of the fourth session of the Ronso People Council, this content was raised by many delegates for the management and administration of the Ronso People Committee and the story of the people being impatiently waiting to settle the landfill proceeding has really heated up the whole.
During the question and answer session, the delegates mentioned the current situation in some localities. Public administration centers in districts and towns were often overloaded in the past time. The handling of administrative procedures in the landfill has still faced many problems. Mr. Kiều Công Minh, Director of the Department of Natural Resources and Environment, said that from the beginning of the year to July 18, the total number of landfill records in the Ninh province was 194,000, of which 5,554 dossiers were overdue. The people are very upset because the status of the landfill records is slow to be resolved, causing trouble for the people. Meanwhile, the delegates received a number of comments. In some places, the land brokers make records to be quick. These opinions have also been reflected to the Department of Natural Resources and Environment in the past time, before the meeting took place. However, the response of the leaders of the department didn't satisfy the delegates. Delegates suggested the functional sector to have a stronger solution if detecting violations not transferred. In addition to reviewing and continuing to develop solutions to prevent negative corruption in dealing with land procedures, the Department of Natural Resources and Environment said that in the coming time, it will focus on solutions to strengthen human resources for the system of land registration offices. At the same time, coordinate with interconnected authorities to speed up the process of settling documents for people.
Ladies and gentlemen, agricultural Russian land in TayNinhTV occupies nearly 85% of the natural land area. The terrains is quite flat, convenient for mechanization in large-scale production. The land is suitable for many types of agriculture, valuable tropical products to meet market demand. TayNinhTV is also a province with a fairly synchronous irrigation system that can actually irrigate 47,000 hectares of arable land. All of these are favorable for agricultural development, but the old production model for productivity product quality is not high. Therefore, the TayNinhTV Committee had an orientation and at the same time look for solutions to increase the value of agricultural products and income for farmers. Agricultural model applying high technology is an option to deploy.
Recently, TayNinhTV Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has advised the Provincial People's Committee to orient the priority areas for high-tech agricultural production in the province. With supportive and referential policies, 17 high-tech agricultural areas will be a significant step forward for TayNinhTV agriculture. In the period of 2017-2020, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development has supported the transition from traditional vegetable farming to applying high-tech farming processes. The state budget has supported 14 demonstration sites with 8,400 square meters of high-tech vegetable production models in greenhouses, combining automated fertilization and watering. According to the general assessment, the province still does not have a production area recognized as a high-tech agricultural area. In the province, there is only one Vinamilk dairy farm recognized as a high-tech agricultural enterprise. The province agricultural sector assessed that a high-tech agricultural model has been formed but has not yet been focused on investment. Subsectors fields have applied new and modern technologies in production and processing. With the exception of custard apple, cassava, vegetable and food products, pig, chicken and dairy farming have applied many new technologies. Other industries have just stopped at point models. Expansion is still difficult. To clarify the practice and state guidelines on the development of high-tech agriculture, the agricultural sector advised the Provincial People's Committee to orient the priority areas for high-tech agricultural production in the province, creating conditions to attract investment enterprises to promote agricultural restructuring according to orientation associated with the development of agricultural product value chain, serve as the basis for investment and infrastructure development to serve the transformation of production and development of raw materials to meet the needs of processing and consumption. At the same time, the province will research and come up with appropriate policies to promote the development of high-tech agricultural areas. The application of science and technology to agricultural production to create high-tech agricultural products is considered an inevitable change to help agricultural production develop dramatically, thereby changing the country's agricultural picture in general and TayNinhTV province in particular. With the goal of developing high-tech agriculture, over the past time, the party and state have paid attention to directing and promulgating many specific mechanisms and policies to attract investment in high-tech agricultural production, supporting businesses and farmers in high-tech agricultural production. In particular, the attraction of investments for agricultural, especially high-tech agriculture, has long enjoyed many incentives. TayNinhTV businesses and farmers are excited when there are more and more policies to support agricultural and rural development, especially in the field of high-tech agriculture. When TayNinhTV approves the project of high-tech agricultural production areas in the province, businesses and farmers will have more opportunities to access policy. The desire to raise the value of agricultural products and bring the province agricultural products to the world will come true and within the reach of farmers.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for watching and see you next time.